Hi everyone, how you doing? Kirsty Kianifard here from kirstykianifard.com. How are we all today? So let me just find the video so I can give it a little share into my Feminine Fierce group. So I'll wait for a little bit, let you guys all jump on. And when you're here, let me know how you're doing. Let me know how your weekend was. And yeah, it's a beautiful sunny day where I am today. And I can't tell you how much of a relief that is. We've had some full-on hardcore weather recently, haven't we? So bear with me. So yeah, drop a comment, let me know what you've been up to this weekend. Anything fun? Right, here we go. Let's get this shared. So today we're talking about a really exciting topic for me. Right, I'm good. Hello, how you doing? Right, so we're going to go and just jump straight into this topic today. I will admit that today I'm having a little break from work and I'm going to be going on a spa day. So I've committed this year, like one of my New Year's resolutions, slightly indulgent, was as I run a spa, I feel like it's my duty, my responsibility for research purposes to go and visit far more spas. Hi Carly! Far more spas than I do. So today I am going to be going to, indulge in a spa day after this. What a great way to start the week. So let me know how your weekend's been, what you're up to this week, and hi Joanne, I'm gonna dive straight into today's topic. And today's topic, of course, is from passion to profit. Now, this topic I'm just so passionate about this topic because it's really where I specialise my work in. It's really what I end up doing with 99.9% of my clients, even those who initially maybe haven't kind of started working with me for business purposes, but more personal, but very often we transition. So, and I know Carly, you've started a new biz recently, so this should really, really help you. So let me know in the comments below where you're at. Like, have you started a business? Have you started turning your passion into some business? Do you want to? Do you have a well-established business? Now, always, if you're watching this on the replay, then do still let me know these things. They're still really interesting for me, and I always come back to all comments later on in the day. So let me know where you're at with turning your passion to profit so far. Now, there's kind of two prongs to this. One is getting going. So one is sometimes we have a burning idea. We have this great thing that we want to bring out into the world, that we're passionate about, that we would just absolutely love people to, buy into. And we'd love to earn a living through doing it. So there's that side. Then there's the other side where you're already doing kind of that. You've already working from a place that feels really aligned. You're already doing the thing you love, but it's the profit side that you're not seeing. So you're working your energetic exchange. I just talked to the lovely Anna. She did a research call for me just now, and we were talking about this idea of exchange of energy, and that sometimes we can feel that the output isn't equaling the input. So we're giving and giving and giving more than we're receiving. And this is a really, really common energetic exchange. Especially, I specialise in working with women in the wellness industry who have kind of wellness related businesses, and especially in that industry because we're big givers, right? We want to help, we want to serve, and sometimes the profit side of it is difficult. The energetic exchange is slightly skewed. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So first of all, before I jump into my steps, I love my steps. First of all, I'm just going to talk to you about why. Why would we want to do this? So why would you want to turn something that you're passionate about, that you believe in, very often have personal experience in? So very often you have your own story. Maybe you have, had a massive transformation as a result of a particular therapy or a particular discipline or a particular support, and you just are so passionate about it that you want to start offering it to other people. You've really seen massive change in your life or other people's lives, and you really want to make this into something. So why would you transition from doing something you love as like a hobby or as something that you believe in and just apply to yourself, to turning it into a profitable business? Why would you do that? Well, you would do that because of your passion. And this is why I call this passion to profit, because it's the passion, it's the energy behind your idea. It's you that people buy into. It's not the thing. So you well know there are, many nutritionists, use Carly as an example, there are many yoga teachers, there are many holistic therapists, there are many yoga teachers, there are many interior designers, there are many of everything. So how does it exist that there can be so many of particular disciplines and that a lot of people are still making money from it? Because of their passion, because everyone's passion in their business is slightly different. Everyone's belief system is slightly different. No one is going to be a replica version of you. So we'll get into this more in a moment, but this is really the crux of how you're going to turn your passion to profit. It's not going to be by copying someone else. It's not going to be by following someone else's formula. It's going to be carving your own. It's massive. So why else would you want to do this? Well, for me, it's like, if you can come from a place of joy, like I hope that when I deliver these videos, when I show up for you guys, you can feel how passionate I am about it. It's in my blood. It makes me so passionate and so excited and so joyful to do this work. And I hope you feel that, because when you can come from a place of joy and from a place of passion and from a place of on like a mission, it doesn't feel like work. You can serve your community tenfold and you start this cycle of joy. It's like people feel it. You ignite that alignment in them. You ignite that energy in them. You're their guide to kind of hold their hand and say, look how awesome this thing is. If there's no passion, and sometimes a business is built solely on profit, then no problem.
That's not your fence panel, is it?
No, you have to go that way.
Sorry,
the builder. The fence has fallen in, so he's supposed to be going next door. He probably thinks, who am I talking to? Anyway, if you try and build a business based on just profit, then the passion is lacking and people don't get that same feeling. They don't get that same, I need this. I need what you have to offer. I'm so passionate. Look what it's done for you. So imagine what it can do for me. So it's really this feeling of joy. It's really this thing where you kind of almost owe it to your community. If you've got this dream, this vision, this idea, you've got to share it with the world. If we're just holding it tight to ourselves, we're kind of not allowing people to get the most out of themselves, right? So this is one of the biggest reasons that I really urge you, rather than just have it as a side hustle, rather than just think of it as a hobby, rather than just park it as something you do for yourself, if you're that passionate about it, you can turn it into a business that you gain profit from, but ultimately you create this cyclical motion of giving and receiving, of sharing this journey, and that is where the magic happens. So drop me a high 10, drop me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Let me know if you feel excited. Let me know your reason for turning your passion to profit. How does it make you feel? How do you want your customer to feel? Right, we're going to dig into the steps now. So we've got 6 steps today, but the first step we're going to break down into a few little bits. So bear with. Right, our first step is to identify the 6 basic human needs. Now this is massive. You can apply this to everything. Now let me just roll off the 6 for you. So we have growth, contribution, connection and love, significance, variety or excitement, that kind of change, and security. Right, now we're going to break these down one by one. So our first one is growth. Now, I'm going to apply all of these to this topic of passion to profit. You could apply this to every area of your life. And the reason I include this as the first step is this can really help you to identify whether you should be bringing your passion into a business, whether you should be making what you do into what you love. Because we need to be serving all these 6 human needs in order to feel fulfilled. So where there's one lacking, one missing, it can give you a massive revelation, massive aha moment to, that's why I've been feeling so off course, or that's why I've been feeling so lacking in momentum. So growth. I did an Instagram post on this today, right? We should always be growing. It's what we're designed to do. So when we stagnate, and very often if you find yourself in a job you've been doing for a long time that there is no passion left anymore and there's nowhere to grow within that space, we spend so much of our time working that we can really stifle this massively important human need. So growth. Now, when you have your own business, when you are an entrepreneur, when you're turning your passion into profit, the growth is endless and totally up to you. So taking me as an example, I've been in business now for about 12, 13 years. Since I started, I have evolved and grown my businesses and myself like ridiculous amounts, more amounts than I could comment. Now, my businesses have changed. So as you all know, I own an organic spa, which will be 10 next year. I've opened Body Mind School. I'm a coach. But not only the external vehicles have changed, I have changed. The growth I have been on since, running my own business, doing my own thing, has been insane. And I'm constantly growing. Stagnation is like my nemesis. And yeah, I have it sometimes. Of course I do. I have to push myself. I have to grow. I can get very comfortable in what I'm doing. But when you run your own thing, growth is totally up to you. I mean, you've got to take responsibility for that. Now, some people won't like that because it's easier to pass the buck, but it is so, so important to take responsibility for your own growth, not to outsource it to other people, not to think, can I get to this next level? This is really to do with income as well. If you want to reach that next level of income, that's totally up to you. You can design a vehicle in which that is achievable. But where you leave it up to someone else, your growth is much more difficult to navigate. Now, contribution. This is our second human need. Massive, making a difference. That's what we're here to do. That's why we're so driven by these concepts, these ideas that we know work for us, so we want to share with other people. We've been there, we've felt the lows, we've seen the highs, and we know how to navigate from here to here. And this is where we make a massive difference in people's lives. So contribution is massively important. It's also about community for me, contribution. It brings people together. It unites people. So even if you just look at, the videos that I do here, the conversations that will start, it's a lovely community. It's people that are coming together with a common cause who want to make a difference. And we're all contributing to that. So when you turn your passion into profit, when you make it into a business, you start creating communities. It goes hand in hand. You have to. And you build networks, and they're all they're bathed in this contribution. Now, our third is connection and love. Back to this community. When it's a passion, when it's something we are so into and we couldn't imagine doing anything else, we come from a place of love. We really want to serve. We want to help other people. This allows us to connect with human beings on a far, far deeper level. So the amount of heartfelt connections I've made since starting my businesses has just blown my mind. And the people that you call in and the people that you're able to journey together with is just insane. Significance. Now, the fourth human need is significance. We need to feel valued. We need to feel like we're making a difference, and we need to feel that we're making we're trailblazers. We need to feel like we're changing the game slightly, that we are taking we're playing our part in the bigger picture. So it's not a bad thing to want some kind of validation. It's not a bad thing to want someone to go, shit man, you really know your stuff. That is not a bad thing. We want that significance. And very often it comes from this path of growth, contribution, and love. So once we have all of those things nailed, the significance comes afterwards, because we're making a pivotal difference in people's lives, and we see it and we witness it, and it fuels this business, or it fuels this mission even more. Now the next one's really interesting. Our fifth one is variety, change, and excitement. So again, we're not designed to be on this planet to just repeat the same thing over and over again. We are here to make a massive difference. We are here to change things up, get excited, do things differently. So we can get very stuck in mindsets that limit us. We can get very stuck in thinking that we're only good for one thing, that we might not be, are we confident enough? Do we have enough knowledge? All of that stuff to bring it out into the world. But we've got to push ourselves. You've got to feel those butterflies. You've got to get excited. You've got to get to a point where you really got to stretch yourself, so some things feel a little bit uncomfortable, because on the other side of that, I promise you, is the biggest elation ever. There's that quote that's banding around there'll be people far less qualified than you going out and doing exactly the thing you want to do, simply because they are taking a risk and they're giving it their best shot. And that's all we can all ever do. There is no guarantee, but it's really important to keep moving, keep testing yourself, keep stretching. Now our final one is security and certainty. Now, this is something, I'll be honest, that having your own jam doesn't always provide you. You don't always feel totally secure, you don't always feel totally stable. But again, as with our top one with growth, it's all in your hands. You're not handing it over, you're not outsourcing it to anybody else. So that laying the foundation, which I'm going to talk about in our next steps, is so crucially important. But it isn't just about the security and stability of money, of wealth. Hi, Lorna. It's about your own stability, being so authentic in who you are that you're not willing to do anything less, that you will make this work because this is your mission, this is your passion. So we've got growth, contribution, connection and love, significance, variety, change and excitement, and security and certainty. So have a little think. After this video, do some journaling and have a look at which of those you're not kind of exploring at the moment. And it will give you some massive plans, some massive ideas about what you need to be doing next. So let me know if you had a little bit of a revelation there, or pop in the comments below which one you're working on the most. Is it growth, contribution, connection, significance, change, or security? Let me know. Right, now we're going to move on to step 2. Step 2 is really a natural progression from our last human need of security and certainty. So step 2 is eliminate overwhelm. So as I mentioned earlier, I've been doing lots of research calls recently about this digital course that I'm putting together. And the common theme in every single call that I've done is overwhelm. And I've seen this in every client that I've worked with. Overwhelm it's like it freezes you. It stops you in your tracks. When you have no idea what the next step is, sometimes you just shut down. So give me a high 10 or a thumbs up if you've ever experienced overwhelm, to the point where you just go, where do I start? I can't do this. I can't do this. And you walk away. So eliminate overwhelm. Overwhelm cannot exist when you introduce a roadmap, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So overwhelm cannot exist when you introduce a roadmap. So what do I mean by that? Well, overwhelm rears its ugly head when there's a lot you want to do and a lot you know you have to do, and not knowing what order in which you need to do them, right? And this is so common at the beginning of starting a business, because you see It's noisy out there. You see so many people on social media, friends and family, community, doing lots of different things. And one day you think, yep, no, I should go and start a Facebook group. Oh no, yeah, I should go and set my website up. Oh no, now I need to decide who my target market is. No, okay, now I need to decide my pricing. No, and there's just all these things. And how do you know which to do first? So many people procrastinate. So they choose the easiest one, very often not the one that's going to get you the biggest results. Or they just go, can't do it. Told you I couldn't do it. Look, I can't do it. They obviously know more than me, so I'm just going to jack it in. Now, what you need to do, and I learnt this the hard way, I spent years channeling my time and energy into places that pointless. I shouldn't have been doing it. But I found people that could show me roadmaps, that could show me what to do. So every time the overwhelm rears and you get sidetracked, you know what your next step is. So invest time, money, and energy into figuring out what your roadmap is, knowing what has to happen up one step after the next, after the next, after the next. Get really focused on your plan, or plot your plan out yourself. You know, go inward, intuition, allow that to lead you, and then stay strong to the path. Don't just sit down one day and pluck one thing out of your hat that you're going to work on. You need a roadmap. It's that same thing as the sat nav. If you wanted to go from here to here and you didn't have a map to follow, you would be going all over the place and wasting so much time with wrong turns, getting distracted, going off this way, going off that way, when what you need to do is come back and tick things off. Now, I promise you, overwhelm cannot exist in this place, because you come home, you know what you need to do next, and you tick the next box. So eliminate overwhelm. I'm going to come back to all your comments at the end. So our third step is following on from this, invest your time and money wisely. Now, I can't tell you how many new business owners I talk to and I say, how's that thing going? Like, when's it coming out? And they'll tell me that they haven't done their website yet because they need it to be all singing, all dancing. They haven't done their offer yet because they need to implement time and energy into this. And they spend every penny they have, every minute of time they have on the things that will not drum up their business. I promise you. So I've seen women create massive change with having no website, having no logo, having no professional images, having none of that, but getting so clear on their mission. So my message to you in this video is your passion is your profit. Don't get diluted by all the external things. They can come, they will come, but you need to start creating momentum around your idea. So like I said in my last video, I think last week, about showing up if you want to build your tribe, it's about starting to build momentum and intrigue and interest about what you're doing. So start talking about it to everyone as if it's already a thing. Don't tell people that it's not a thing yet because the website's not launched, or because the social media pages aren't up, or because the logo's not quite right, or because the visuals aren't quite right. People don't buy that stuff. Yes, it looks professional and yes, it will come, but they buy you. They buy your passion, they buy your vision. So next time you speak to someone, talk to them as though your business has been established for years, because it has. It's been living in you, growing in you, developing in you. You've been putting it into practice in your own life for years. So talk with confidence, make people believe in you, and then you will believe in yourself. And all of those things, telling you, they cost so much money initially because you won't have the network that you need to help you with those things. And they spend so much time. But you need to get really clear on your mission. You need to get really clear on your offer, spend time doing that. What is it that you are going to do to transform someone's life, and then talk to them about it. Start building community, and then the pieces will come. You'll come back to this roadmap. You'll know the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. So my next tip is lay solid foundations. Now, I can't tell you how much I wish I had done this And that's why I'm so passionate about teaching this stuff now. If you lay really good foundations, everything that goes upon it is easy. Now, what I mean by the foundations is the foundations of your business. So the foundations of what do you do? What do you do? Simple. One paragraph. What do you do? Right? Not, well, I'll do a bit of this, and just as if you were speaking to someone that has never met you. They don't know the inside jargon. They don't know the kind of phrases that your kind of community know. Simple layman's terms, what do you do? Who do you do it for? Who is your audience? Who do you do it for? Who are you trying to help? And how can someone work with you? How can they get in touch with you? Is there a consultation process? Is there a consultation process? Is there a booking system? Is there anything that they need to do, right, to make that initial contact? Lay those really concrete, solid foundations. I'll tell you why. Because when you build upon it, as you expand, your website will say those same messages. Your social media posts will need to convey those same messages. Everything you do will be built upon these really solid foundations. Now, when we don't do this, again, we can get very sidetracked and go, oh no, maybe I can do this, and I can do a bit of this, and I can do a bit of this. So it's really worth investing time in your foundations. My next tip for you, and it kind of leads into this, is don't think about what you can get, think about what you can give. Really big. Don't think about what you can get, think about what you can give. Now, energetic exchange is important. You do need to get that balanced exchange. But think firstly about what you can give. It's really important. What is it that you can give that would really serve your ideal client? What is it that you could give? Every time you formulate a new product, a new service, what is it that you can give that person? Think of just one person. And then you can build upon what you can get afterwards. Now, energetically, when we build upon our offers from what can I get, so we first of all think about, how much am I going to charge for this? How much time is this going to take? All of that, it's a very different energy that we put into it, and it can really often repel people. Even if they don't know why, they can pick up on it because we're leading into that offer with what can I get? It's more about me. It's not so much about you. And your business should be all about your customers, your clients, your community. You're their guide. You're there to support them. So they have to be at the forefront of every decision you make, which leads very smoothly onto my next topic. Be the guide and not the hero in your business. I am honestly listening to one of the best books ever. It's called Building a Storyboard by Donald Miller. Anyone's read it? Give me a thumbs up. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Really good to get your to get clarity around who it is you're serving and why. And his big point is that you are the guide in your business and not the hero. So sometimes we want to come onto social media, want to come into communities and be like, look at me, look what I've done, look how well I've done this, look, and we want to show people what we've done because we feel like it shows them that we can support them. But what it very often does is sets up this odd kind of energetic experience. And as he says, there's only room for one hero in a story. You want your client or your customer to be the hero and not you. You are the guide. So in all of your media, in all of your kind of websites, in all of your communications with your client, put yourself in the position of the guide within your client's story, supporting the hero, as in your client, to get the results they want, to achieve the dream they're going for, to get that kind of ultimate outcome. You're there as the guide. Now, this helps with all of the content you're writing, the voice you use to write your content. There's no room for these two heroes in your client's story, so they will switch off and choose someone else to be their guide. Even if you're awesome, even if you're at the top of your game, it's just about that energetic space for those two people. You want to become part of their story rather than try and dominate their story. So be the guide and not the hero. And our final step, ladies, is ditch your drama for your dharma. So 2 things to say on this. You guys were so lovely with the polls I did on social media this weekend, choosing the topics, but it was neck and neck the whole way through. I was like, Dharma or passion to profit, and it was neck and neck. I think it was like one more on passion to profit, so that's why I've chosen it today. But I just wanted to touch on Dharma, and I'm going to do a whole video on finding your Dharma next week. If you don't know what Dharma means, it's like life purpose, what your calling is. So what I want to just add at the end of this is ditch your drama for your Dharma means when you are living, breathing, existing, working from a place that feels so aligned with who you are, it's so on point with your mission, you're so passionate about it, you will not have time for drama in your life. The choices that you make about who you're willing to spend time with, your boundaries, what you're willing to accept, suddenly they all become a lot more succinct. They all become much more defined because you're on a mission. You've got big work to do in this world. You're here to, to be a trailblazer, to change the world in your way. So you don't have time for the drama that surrounds you. So if you feel like you're in a place at the moment where there's everything coming at you all the time, there's lots of things distracting you, there's lots of dramas going on that you're getting sucked into, my big message is come back to what you're passionate about. Come back to what you want to be doing in this world. Come back to how you want to make a difference. The drama just cannot exist with that mission. And even when it rears its head, it doesn't have the long-lasting impact on you because you've got the focus to come back to. You've got that roadmap to come back to. You're like, that's great, but I've really got to be somewhere. And your energy can become so refined, so clear, and so magnetic when you've got that strong mission. So guys, they are my tips. I feel this was a super heavy content video. I hope I haven't blown you away with all that. Let me just read some of these comments. So Joanne, working on all of the above, limiting beliefs and overwhelm have definitely shut me down over the years. So common. And sometimes just knowing how to get over overwhelm. Overwhelm rears its head all of the time. So every time you kind of have nailed something and you move on to the next phase of growth, overwhelm will come again because unfamiliar energy, and energetically you can become overwhelmed. And energetically what happens is you want to kind of steer away from it. But when you just come back to a simple step-by-step process, overwhelm really cannot exist. So spend your time focusing on that first. I'm at a point now where I have to start putting my ideas into action. The last 12 months I've been unsettled at home and I'm making changes in every aspect of my life at this point in time. Your steps and points really help to break it down. Amazing, Joanne, and well done. It's the commitment. It's suddenly when you make that decision, I'm going to do it, I'm all in, things change. So well done. Lydia, I can do roadmap. I spend hours to do them. However, I don't follow them. So that's really interesting. I've been there too 100 times. And sometimes for me, it's because I'm not that passionate about it. It's not getting me. It's got to really get you. It's got to really make you, this kind of work that I'm doing, the stuff I'm working on at the moment, I want to be doing it all the time. I mean, I have to pull myself back a bit and say, chill out, ground yourself. So you want to be so driven by your mission, and sometimes it's just tweaking it a little bit. It might just be that you've got quite enough clarity around what it is you want to be doing. Helen, brilliant. The money comes when you stop worrying about the money so much, and when you start asking yourself, what can I give rather than what can I get? How can I show up for my community, for my clients, for my people? The money is just a byproduct of that. It's an energetic exchange, so it has to come, right? Lydia, I have several ideas, but I don't know which one to choose to start. It feels like I have a lot of missions, which is not a bad thing. So what I would encourage you to do is, if I was working with you one-to-one, it'd be like, what's the thread between those missions? It's not always, don't focus on the external vehicle. So it's not always, what does it look like? Like, okay, I'm this practitioner, I'm that practitioner, I'm this coach, I'm that coach. It's not about the title. Think about how all these missions make you feel. So journal them out, list them all out, and see what the common thread is. If you were to do all of those things, how would you feel? And that will really show you what you're trying to achieve in yourself and in your clients. Vision boards and plans of action are ace, but you have to keep believing and following. Absolutely, and you have to keep revisiting. Have to keep revisiting. Life shouldn't stagnate. The growth phases are far more regular than you think they are. When we start to get comfortable, we think, okay, great, I can get into the swing of this. But really, that's the next time for us to revisit those vision boards, get back on that planning. But yeah, believing and following. So much of this is about mindset. Believe you can do it and you will. Research. I'm having a call from my manufacturer on Wednesday, but it has taken me ages to take my first step. It's such a good live and it's given me more push to think about more ideas. Yeah, momentum. I feel like I need to make a momentum song. Everything's about momentum. So I think I've done videos before where I'm like, just pick up the phone, make that first phone call. Because until you start creating momentum around your idea, until it starts becoming a thing, it's just going to live within you, and the overwhelm can take over them because there's no tangible thing out there. That's why I'm saying talk to people as if it's already there, because the next time you meet that person, they're going to say, they're like your accountability buddy. How's that going? And if you think, oh, I haven't done anything since we last spoke, you're going to feel not so good about that. So you're going to make sure you keep up the momentum. I'll be looking to buy that book. It's such a good book. Giving the clients something more than they accept and more than what they pay for, definitely. I've got a diary, and at the start of every month I've put the name of the product, of my product, and don't give up. Awesome. You know, it's so important. Be your own coach, definitely. And yeah, I mean, if you need to, you know, value your clients, make them feel so special. Clients just want to, or people just want to be seen, and they want to be heard, and they want to be listened to. And if you can honor that, if you can give them that, then wow, you've made huge impact on their lives. People trying to put you down and stop you from doing it, I find. Yeah, and I think that's really relevant. But you know what, this ditch your drama for your dharma, they can't touch you. When you're really on a mission, when you are laser focused on where you are going, you don't even notice it. Those voices get smaller and smaller and smaller because your energy, that's why I'm so passionate about the energy mastery when you look at business, your energy becomes so expansive, so clear that you draw in those people that have got you, they have got your back. My mental health ADHD gets in the way, but I found it's about give and take. Yeah, and I think really tune in to your own natural flow, and you know, ride with when things feel good. You know, you've got to think of this give and take, exactly, and I would translate that as that masculine feminine energy, you know, the giving and the receiving, the aspects of your life where you step back and you receive and you're in that receptive stage are as powerful as when you're in the action phase. So however that needs to take shape for you, you need to flow with that. Don't just think about the action base, because it's the receptive energy where we get a lot of the ideas and a lot of the clients showing up. I found be kind to yourself, still have a vision. Yes, thank you, that's a good idea. Awesome. So I'm so glad that's been helpful for you all. If you are watching on the replay, please feel free to leave comments. I will get back to every single one of you. And yeah, just one thing today, maybe do one thing towards turning your passion into profit, and make sure you get really clear on that roadmap and where your time and energy is best spent. So I'm going to head off now for my spa day, but I look forward to seeing you all next week. I'm going to do a full video on finding and clarifying your dharma. So those of you that have said today that you're a bit unsure about what you want to be doing, about what your calling is, we'll really dig deep on that next week. So as always, thank you so much for showing up and being here. I've been Kirsty Kianifard from KirstyKianifard.com, and I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Lots of love. Bye.